I'm sure this comes as a surprise to you real schoolers, but I have a wicked sweet tooth. As if you couldn't tell. And as much as I know that the old fairy tale of Hansel and Gretel says that these two kids were lost and starving, a part of me, a man who eats double stuffed Oreos by the box, draws the line at eating a cottage. You just know a bunch of birds have been crapping on it, bugs are stuck to it, rodents have been gnawing away, mold, mildew. I mean, we are way past the 5-second rule here. Whoa, I need to lighten up. When did I become more of a stickler than old Germans? This is Real School. Looks like we are in the season of the witch. This year, not only will we have witch hunters, but within a couple of months we'll also have beautiful creatures and Oz the Great and Powerful. And of course last year we had that Kristen Stewart film with the ice-cold, emotionless witch in it. Too easy. This time though, it's not just the witch's house that is the eye candy, with 2 Bond girls and the guy who played Hawkeye, who apparently some women find attractive. The sex appeal of the cast was never in question, but the big question was, have we seen it all before? Based on the title alone, there are obvious comparisons to last year's Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. But Hansel and Gretel did something right off the bat that Abe didn't. Hunted witches instead of vampires? No, it didn't take itself too seriously. From the onset, writer-director Tommy Wirkola pulls you aside and says, listen, we all know why you're here. You want to see over-the-top violence, blood, guts, gore, and Gemma Arterton in a corset and tight leather pants. And you get it. That unapologetic style of camp and horror reminds me of one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, Sam Raimi. That may not be as far a stretch as you may think, because remember that Tommy Wirkola also made the cult zombie hit Dead Snow. Why is it every time I hear his name I want a cough drop? Wirkola! Never mind that both Raimi and Wirkola brought us original takes on already established horror subgenres. Cough Drop brought us Nazi zombies. Raimi brought us God. This is where Wirkola starts to lose me though. While you can see that Hansel and Gretel really pays homage to Raimi's style, the one-liners of Ash, hell, even the look of the witches look like the Deadites in the Army of Darkness and Evil Dead films. But let's be honest, he's not there yet. And by the way, I don't know for sure that Wirkola is paying homage or tribute to Raimi, but if he's not a fan, he's on the waiting list. I want to be clear though, Hansel and Gretel is a much better movie than I thought it was going to be. And there are some redeeming qualities. The action is really fun, the climax is pretty solid, and the final fight is really intense. And there are some really clever anachronistic touches as well. Like the fact that because Hansel ate too much candy as a kid, he's severely diabetic. That's pretty clever. But the sweetest treat was still Arterton, even though they took away her red hair. And British accent, like that makes sense. So the beautiful Gretel, for her solid performance and tight acting, is this episode's for the win. When I thought about this movie though, I asked myself, would I see it again? No. Would I buy it on Blu-ray? Maybe in the bargain bin. So even though I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, I can't recommend it. It's not worth full price in the theaters, and so it's a burn it. Hey, we have our first turkey, 3 strikes in a row. It's a bowling term. The film is basically what you expect. You've seen the format before in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and Van Helsing, but it is the best out of those types of films. Whatever that might say. I do encourage Wirkola to keep doing what he's doing. Like he's watching. Raimi was very much misunderstood at the beginning of his career. In fact, there are still people out there who don't really get his style. So if you keep making these fun movies, I for one will watch to see how they evolve. Although if you're gonna write one-liners, first of all, write some better ones. Second of all, you need a Bruce Campbell. Poll question time, what is your favorite witch movie? And no, any movie with Megan Fox in it does not count. Remember to stay tuned to Real School and follow us on Twitter, because come Oscar night, we will be tweeting live that evening. But you have to be following us on Twitter to get all the details, including a special guest co-host and awesome prizes. But until then, and until next episode, school's out.